tonight it is March 4th, and we're using March 4th to march forth into good health at a place for healing. That's really our goal, to have individuals realize you are your healing power, you got your healing power, and it is my pleasure. I'm the co-founder of A Place for Healing, and I'm a wellness home consultant, and it's my pleasure to bring up Dr. Barry. Thank you.
Living healthy made simple. Imagine it's a bathtub. In the bathtub is a kitten. And that kitten is running in circles, chasing its tail. Running. And on the edge of the bathtub is this old cat watching. And he starts to laugh. And the little kitten stops and says, "Hey, what are you laughing at?" And he says, "I see you're chasing your tail. Why are you doing that?" And the little cat says, "Well, there's happiness in my tail, and there's health in my tail, and all the things I want in life are in my tail, and one day I'm going to catch it, and then I'll have all those things." And the old cat started to laugh again. And he said, "I used to think just the way you did. But as I got older, I realized the longer and the faster I chased my tail, the longer and the faster all those things ran away from me. But if I just walked along, all those things followed right behind me."
Nice.
So how often do we sometimes feel like, when it comes to our health, or our wealth, or our relationships, or our career, like we're chasing our tail? And we think there's something out there that we're gonna get it, and it's gonna give us what we want. Anyone ever feel that way?
Yes.
If you don't raise your hand, you lie about other things too.
So why did you take the test?
Everybody feels that way. But you look at flowers, you look at trees, you look at nature, and it doesn't chase its tail. It thrives. It doesn't have to be such hard work to be healthy. It's our nature to be healthy. It's natural. So what I'd like to do to start is, let's define what is health.
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
Feeling peaceful.
Feeling peaceful.
And being able to be present and not be distracted by so many things that are in our lives.
Okay. So you're all right. You're all correct. However, if you look in a dictionary, there's generally 3 basic definitions you'll see. One is absolutely wrong. The second one is mostly right, but it's more an effect of health rather than what health is. And there's been a definition that's 100% correct. So the first one that's absolutely wrong is health is the absence of disease. Why is that not true? So what just happened? Why is it dark in here now?
Shut off electricity.
I turned off the lights. Put it back on. I bring light back in. I remove light, it gets dark. Darkness is the absence of light, not the other way around. Light is not the absence of dark. Light is something, it's a wave or a particle, depending on how you observe it. And when you remove it from the space, now there's an absence of light and it's dark. And it could be pitch black in here, and you just introduce a match and it'll light the room up. That little bit of light will wipe out the darkness. But if we don't introduce light, is there anything we could do to the darkness to make it go away?
I can't think of anything.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You gotta introduce that something, which is light, and now there's no darkness. That is why health is not the absence of disease. Disease is the absence of health. Health is the something. It's that vibrant life force in your body, your body's ability to adapt, which is definition number 3. You start losing your health, dis-ease happens. What health is ease. You lose that sense of ease, now you have dis-ease. For 100 years, they've been saying health is the absence of disease. That's saying light is the absence of darkness. It's backwards. So our entire healthcare industry is based on fighting disease, which is no more effective as fighting darkness. You can't do it. You got to introduce health. Second one is physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being is the definition of health. It's kind of right, but it's really the effect of having health. When you have health, you have spiritual, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being. So what is the correct definition of health? The ability to adapt to change. When you are able to adapt to whatever comes your way, you're healthy. So if the whole room has the flu and your immune system is adaptive and strong, you're not gonna get it. There's all kinds of cars driving crazy on the highway and you're present and you can move and swerve and hit the brake, you're not gonna get in an accident. Years ago, we were riding on our bikes on the road. I'd been in the middle of training for my black belt test. I was committed to getting it by the age of 50, and we're on bikes. There's a runner coming toward us on the bike path, doesn't move. I swerve, I hit the bush, I go flying off the handlebars. And because I've been practicing 4 or 5 times a week, my body immediately went into a roll and I got up on my feet.
Wow.
And my son said, "Dad, did you see what you just did?" My body adapted. And I didn't get injured. Health is the ability to adapt. If you have strong adaptability to the changes in life, personally and globally, you are healthy. So let's talk about what causes health. So they actually did a study for 80 years, the Harvard Grant study, to determine what do healthy people that live long, healthy lives have in common. And they went around the world and followed people through life, 80 years, to see what were the commonalities of people that lived long, healthy lives into their 90s, 100s, and beyond, and stayed healthy even in those years. And they found, to their surprise, had nothing to do with what they ate. Didn't matter if they smoked or not. Didn't matter if they drank alcohol or not. Didn't matter if they exercised or not. But what they all had in common is they enjoyed their lives. Life enjoyment is what causes health. Specifically, healthy, loving relationships, fulfilling, purposeful work, and being involved with the community and having community involvement. They found consistently over 80 years around the world that people that lived long, healthy lives, those were the 3 things they had in common, and they enjoyed themselves doing it. So if you're not feeling as healthy as you would like to be, number 1 on your list is to find more enjoyment. Because they actually did a study with Network, the work that I do, NetworkSpinal, looking at what causes people to have wellness in their lives. And they found if people ate chocolate cake and enjoyed it versus eating salad and vegetables and hating it, the chocolate cake actually improved their well-being and their health. So if you're going to that exercise program or doing that diet because somebody told you to do it and you hate it, you're working against yourself. I'm not saying don't eat healthy, and I'm not saying don't exercise, but if you're not enjoying it, don't do it, because it will actually have negative impact on your health. So the body itself is very, very intelligent. So what do I mean by that? Did everybody have a good snack in the other room?
Yes.
Some of us had some crackers, some of us had cheese, some of us had maybe some salami. We all had some corn cake. Do you know how to break that all down into proteins and carbs and fats and all the minerals and all the vitamins and send it to all the perfect places it needs to go to make your bone and your liver and your muscle and your brain tissue and your eyes and all the cells of your body? How many of you know how to do that? But your body does.
Yeah.
There's a gazillion chemical reactions happening every moment. Your body knows just what to do. If you cut your finger, do you know how to make a scab and bring that skin back together? Your body does. And it'll line the fingerprints back up.
Crazy.
Every time.
Amazing, yeah.
That car in front of you stops short and your foot just hits that brake. Did you think about that?
Right.
No, your body knew what to do. The body does everything for a reason. Everything. And it's to do one of two things. It's either to survive the moment or it's to become better, to grow and thrive. It always wants to do one or the other, and it knows how to do both. Now, if you're in danger and there's a bear jumping out at you in the woods, your body's not going to be focused on keeping a strong immune system and building your strength and building resiliency. It's thinking, I got to run away, or I got to fight this thing, or I'm going to be dead. So the body goes into what's called the fight or flight response, and it's a stress response to survive the moment. And this is controlled by the nervous system, which controls everything in the body. The nervous system is the brain, the spinal cord, all the nerves. It's where that intelligence expresses itself from and controls everything. Everything. The way you see me right now is all filtered through your nervous system, and you're all seeing me differently. And you're all hearing my voice differently because you're filtered through your nervous system. You don't see with your eyes and hear with your ears. You see through them. You hear and see with your nervous system. And that's all filtered through all the experiences that you've had since you've been born. Your nervous system has a memory of everything you've ever experienced. And some of those experiences were overwhelming, stressful experiences that you needed to survive. And some of them, things that you had the resources to deal with, and it helped you to grow. But there are some of these experiences that your body couldn't handle. And maybe there was 2 of them, or maybe there was hundreds of them. And your body, your nervous system, sets itself up to protect itself from those kind of events. And if I'm having a conversation about life and my nervous system is tuned to there's a bear gonna jump out at any moment, because when I was 5, a bear jumped out and I was threatened, and my nervous system got tuned to that event, I'm gonna be threatened just in a conversation. And this is how the nervous system works. The nervous system, just like a guitar, is tuned to all the events that you've experienced in your life, and you can't help but respond to life based on how your nervous system is tuned. Is your nervous system tuned to thrive and grow, or is it tuned to, I'm in danger and I gotta survive this moment? When your nervous system is constantly in a state of survival, it's adapting to events that doesn't even exist anymore. So when a new threat actually comes up, how's your body able to adapt to that? It can't. It's already overwhelmed with all those other life experiences that you've had. So what causes health? The body's ability to adapt. So how do we regain our body's ability to adapt? It's by helping your body recover from all those past stresses and traumas. And that's what we do with NetworkSpinal care. That's the work that I do in the office, is help retune the nervous system back to your ideal tuning before it had all those stressful experiences. And it doesn't have to take a long time, and it doesn't have to take therapy, and it doesn't have to take all the things people do that takes 20 years for the changes to happen. Because it's just a tuning of the nervous system. And all of a sudden things start to change. And it can happen in months rather than in years. The National Institute of Health did a study, and what they found was that people whose primary care provider was not a medical doctor, but a chiropractor. And if somebody got sick, they went to the chiropractor to get adjusted, not to get medicine. They found that they took 85% less pharmaceuticals and had 60% less hospital visits than those people whose primary care provider was a medical doctor.
Huge, God.
So they continued and looked at acupuncturists and other alternative type things, and they found similar numbers. That people whose primary care provider didn't give them medicine, but gave them strategies to be healthier, took 85% less pharmaceutical costs and 60% less hospital visits. Now my chiropractor, I went to the chiropractor when I was 9 because I had a head injury. We moved to Florida from New York. I met this kid. We were jumping off some steps. I smashed my head open and got scalped, and welcome to Florida. And a few years later, I started getting very severe migraines, and then my parents took me to a chiropractor. And they found that not only did it help me with the migraines, but I started doing better in school. And when the other kids were getting sick, I didn't get sick. And I had allergies, and they weren't affecting me as much. And back then, they didn't have ADHD and ADD, and they didn't have those things. I was hyperactive. That's what they called me. They noticed, I started calming down when I was getting adjusted. So Dr. Stan Guberman, who actually still practices, he's in his 80s now, became my doctor. Once a week, they took me to get adjusted. If I got a cold, they took me to get adjusted. Why? Because the body can adapt when the nervous system is healthy, when the spine is healthy. So we talked about the light, introducing light, gets rid of darkness, and then I said we introduce health. What is that health? It's the life force flowing through your nervous system, that intelligence that's expressing through the body that does the adapting. NetworkSpinal drew the attention of a guy named Robert Blank, a neurophysiologist, because he was seeing changes in people that he'd never seen before. Because people that were under network care not only had the typical chiropractic physical changes that we know from chiropractic, but they were having more emotional well-being and having spiritual experiences and changing their job to do more fulfilling work after receiving chiropractic care, or leaving abusive relationships and finding healthier relationships after receiving chiropractic care. So it's like, why is that happening? So he put together a team of researchers to see why this was happening. And part of this research was they developed something called the wellness quotient, a mathematical way of determining how much well-being a person is experiencing. And they did this by studying 2,700 people around the country. And you can look it up. It's called the retrospective study of network spinal analysis. When a person makes a positive lifestyle change, meaning they eat healthier, they start exercising, they quit smoking, they quit drinking, they do all the things that people say you need to do to be healthy, there was a 23% improvement on average in their wellness quotient. When somebody started network spinal care, the improvement in their wellness quotient was 44%. So receiving network spinal care, which means you're helping your body recover from those past stresses and release that tension out of your nervous system, has 2 times the effect in your overall well-being than eating healthy or starting exercise or quitting smoking, making positive health changes. Now here's the real kicker. If a person did both, they made these positive healthcare changes and started network spinal care, they had a 68% improvement in their wellness quotient. So if somebody starts eating healthy and starts exercising or starts a yoga program or starts acupuncture or does any positive health change with network spinal as part of it, they'll get 3 times the wellness benefit of doing that thing alone. So people talk about alternatives. The work that I do isn't an alternative to anything. It's a power booster to everything that you do. We do need to eat healthy. You know, if you eat that chocolate cake every day forever, you're gonna feel it. You know, and we do gotta keep active, but we gotta enjoy it, and we gotta do it through a healthy spine and nervous system. Not harboring 30 years of stresses in our spine. That's what makes people sick. So very, very often when we get sick, it's because we have some kind of symptoms, right? If we get a fever, our nose starts running, and we start getting the sweats and the shakes, and our starts aching inside our bones, what do we say we are? I'm sick, right? What if I were to tell you that is when you're at your healthiest?
So because your body is fighting that.
Whatever it is.
Right.
It is at war with whatever virus or bacteria that took control. Your immune system got a little depressed. You weren't able to adapt. Now it's doing things that can kill you. The common cold could kill you. So what does the body do? It cranks the temperature up. Right? That kills off the virus, the bacteria, because the virus and bacteria love 98.6, which is our normal body temperature. Cranks up the temperature. Now it has to get that stuff out. There's only so many exits. at the pores of our skin, so we'll start sweating. You got nose, so you have a runny nose. Right? You might have diarrhea, you might throw up. But what do? We take medication to reduce the symptoms. So we're working against what the body's trying to accomplish. And that's why a flu or something, it can take 7 days for people to get well. But I can tell you, I've had flus that literally lasted hours. Because I take the attitude, bring it on, let's do it. We got something to fight, let's fight it. Let that fever cook, let that sweat. It feels horrible, you rest, drink lots of water. You don't have to do anything to stop it. Let the body do its thing. And that's all symptoms. The symptom isn't caused by the disease. The symptom is the body's response to it to heal, always.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What do you think of herbs? Like when I have a cold, I take golden seal.
Yeah,
Good golden seal.
It's the intention behind it. Are you doing it to strengthen something?
Right.
Or are you doing it to fight something? Are you introducing health or fighting disease?
What a great answer.
Pain is not a problem. It's a guide. Something that you just ate, did, thought is not aligned with your highest and best, and that's supposed to hurt. If I step on a nail, it's supposed to hurt. So I know I got a nail in my foot. If I touch a hot stove, it's supposed to hurt. Ow. If I'm in a relationship that's not good for me, it's supposed to hurt. If I'm in a job that's not aligned with my highest and best, it's supposed to hurt. But we don't listen. We don't listen. And we call the pain the problem. Rather than saying, all right, what's the message here and how can I get the engine light to turn off? Putting just a piece of black tape over the engine light. How many people would be satisfied with that if your engine light came on and you went to the mechanic and you just clipped that wire so the light went off? And how long would the car keep functioning?
Not long and not well.
I know I wouldn't be happy with that mechanic if that was his solution. But that's what people do every day and they're happy with that. They go, Doc, I'm going to the pain management clinic for my neck pain. I'm like, why? You're just going to inject something in there so you don't feel it for 6 months and the problem's still there. And you're doing all the behaviors and all the things that the pain was trying to get you to stop.
Mask it.
If I help you to get your pain to go away and you don't make the change in your life that needed to be made, I'm not serving you. Because if I have neck pain because I keep hitting myself in the side of the neck with a hammer, and you don't stop hitting yourself in the side of the neck with a hammer, how am I serving you? If I just make the pain go away so you can keep doing that, it doesn't hurt. And we all have our hammer, whatever the hell it looks like. A lot of men, it's their wallet in the back pocket. Now every time you have the wallet in the back pocket, it's this thick. And you sit down, now this is sitting up, and you wonder why you have low back pain.
Wow.
You know, little things like that. Or the big 40-pound purse women carry, and they're walking around like this.
Totally.
Not us.
And we all have our hammer that we're, Doc, why do I have headaches? I can't figure out why I have headaches. Well, maybe you should stop hitting yourself in the head with a hammer. And I can adjust you with NetworkSpinal till forever. And if you're still doing that, you're always going to have headaches. So I gave you the philosophical background. I want to give you some specific, tangible to-dos.
Good.
But from this perspective. Remember, we're trying to introduce health, increase our adaptability. And we want it to be easy and simple, just like the trees growing out there. Totally common sense. So I would say number one action would be to start developing a healthy relationship with your body. Meaning, if you're having a symptom, or you have that bad back, or you have that bad hip, pause and say, okay, why is my body doing this? It's intelligent, it does everything for a reason. What do I need to change here? What in my life isn't right? And start developing that healthy relationship with the body, because a lot of people, it's like this adversarial relationship, constantly at war with their body. Whatever you do that I'm going to list here, or anything else you do for your health, make sure you enjoy it. If you find that you're trying this new exercise program and you're really not enjoying it, find something else. I did martial arts because I love doing that. Did fencing for a while, I love that. I love biking, I love walking out in nature. Sometimes Sometimes you do got to push yourself into things that challenge you, and that's not always enjoyable, but I enjoy the challenge, if you know what I'm saying. Number 3 is whether it's with me or any of the thousands of chiropractors out in Broward County, get adjusted. Make that a part of your normal healthcare system. Whether it's once a week, once a month, or once a quarter, keep your spine adjusted and healthy. I prefer NetworkSpinal. It is gentler and it helps the body to learn to do it on its own more, and it's a little deeper process for just your beingness. But I'm a big fan of any chiropractic, because chiropractic is designed by D.D. Palmer in 1895 to allow the fullest expression of your life force and your innate intelligence of your body. Let's talk a little bit about eating healthy, because people make it much too complicated than it actually is. 2 simple rules and you'll be eating healthy. Number 1, read the labels. If the ingredients don't sound like banana, onion, doesn't sound like food, then don't eat it. So the other rule with eating healthy is knowing the difference between alkaline and acid foods. Our body is healthiest when it's leaning towards alkaline. Most illness and disease is leaning towards acid. Inflammation, arthritis.
They thrive in an acid.
It's thriving in an acid environment. So, drinking water, especially an alkaline water like we have here, helps keep the body alkaline. But knowing the difference between alkaline and acid foods, and neither of them is bad for you. It's just knowing the ratio. Very simple. Fruits and vegetables are alkaline. Everything else is acid.
Tomatoes?
They have acid in them, but it has an alkaline effect on your body. So oranges have citric acid in them, but if you eat them, it has an alkaline effect on your body. So fruits and vegetables are alkaline. Everything else is acid. And do like a 60-40 ratio or a 70-30. See what works for you. You don't have to go vegan. If you have a steak and you want a big ribeye, make sure you have a big salad and eat some broccoli with it, and and have a fruit cup afterwards or something, and just up the fruits and vegetables when you have something acidic. Just keep the ratio there. So those 2 things, if you do those 2 things, you'll be eating healthy. Read those labels. Don't eat anything that doesn't sound like a food. Just know your alkaline acid. So what's the best kind of exercise?
When you enjoy.
Whatever you like.
When you enjoy it, as long as you keep yourself moving.
The one you enjoy.
Keep yourself moving. If you can do it outside, get out in nature and be outside. And lastly, which is a very important part of my life and our life, learning some form of meditation. I've been meditating since I'm 17. I was introduced to TM, Transcendental Meditation, back then. I've been meditating ever since. But in 2002, we were introduced to something called Self-Discovery Life Mastery Techniques. Very effective, and you could do this anywhere at any time.
Right.
You do it while you're driving. You can do it while you're speaking in front of a group, and it's a meditation. It's been mentioned many times tonight, but many people don't really have a technique to get there. So this technique is called the Present Moment Awareness Technique, or what we call PMA. The last part I want to talk about is when things aren't going right. And you do feel sick. And you do have some issues going on, because sometimes we genuinely have issues. How do we deal with that and still stay aligned with ourselves and with some stuff? Because sometimes we got to take actions we might not normally take. Right? Because I'm not against medicine in any way. Just medicine is not a path to optimum health and wellness. It's a way out of a problem. You got one. You got a clot behind your eye? They had to go in there microscopically from your groin without a scar and fix that.
Amazing.
And save my dad's life. It's incredible. If I got a bone sticking out of my arm, Holy Cross is right up the street. They'll fix that in an instant. So what do you do when things aren't going great? First thing is to ask before you seek anybody's help. Unless it's an emergency. Your bone is sticking out. Okay, my bone's sticking out. What's my body trying to tell me? I gotta get that fixed. Use common sense. But if you're feeling a little nauseous or you have an acid stomach, just think, what could my body be trying to tell me? You'll know. Start learning, build a healthy relationship with the body.